Can't read, can you? Says right here, white residents only. That's not you. Get lost. Officer Derek Vance doesn't wait. He rips the newspaper from Marcus Kane's hands and throws it in his face, then grabs his collar and slams him back against the stone bench. 80 people watch. A mother covers her daughter's eyes. The little girl is already crying. Derek pulls out handcuffs. Last warning up now. Marcus stays calm. Officer, I'm just waiting for my wife. I don't care if you're waiting for the president himself. Move or you're going in cuffs. Marcus doesn't move. Derek's hand tightens on the metal. What Derek doesn't know, he just put his hands on the wrong man. The one man he should never have touched. Some mistakes don't give second chances. Stick around because this cop's about to learn the hard way. Some lines you don't cross. 20 minutes before Officer Derek Vance's life explodes, Marcus Kane is just a man sitting on a bench. That's what Derek thinks when he sees him. Another black man where he doesn't belong. Easy target. Quick fix. Another day keeping the park clean. Derek has no idea he's about to make the worst mistake any cop could make. Willow Creek Community Park. 5:15 Sunday evening. 80 people enjoying sunset hour. Kids on swings, joggers on paths, families at picnic tables. Normal, peaceful. Marcus Kane walks in wearing a gray vest and slacks. He's waiting for his wife Elena and granddaughter Mia to finish getting ice cream down the street. He sits on a stone bench near the playground, the one with faded carving from 1948. White residents only. He opens his newspaper. Headline reads, DOJ launches law enforcement overhaul program. He doesn't smile at the irony, just reads. Above him, a security camera swivels, focuses on his face. Facial recognition activates. 2 seconds later, Marcus Kane, FBI Director, Priority Alpha. Alert fires across federal networks, Washington, D.C., 250 miles away. Deputy Director Lena Voss's phone lights up. She reads it twice, then grabs her office line. Tactical team on standby. Director Kane in Brookside Park off duty. Monitor close. Don't engage unless critical. 3 black SUVs leave FBI headquarters. Lights off. Sirens silent. ETA 15 minutes, Brookside. Marcus's phone buzzes. He doesn't check it. Already knows what it says. 30 meters away, Officer Derek Vance stares at Marcus with that look every black man knows. You don't belong here. Derek keys his radio. Dispatch Vance, vagrant at Memorial Bench, checking it out. Captain Harlan Burke responds, Your call, keep it clean. Derek walks toward Marcus. 20 FT away, Officer Jamal Hayes tosses Frisbee with his son. Off duty, he glances at the bench, sees Derek approaching someone familiar. Really familiar? Where has he? His son yells. Jamal turns away. Near swings, Judge Elias Thorne films his daughter playing, camera angle wide. Catches the bench in background. He's recording evidence without knowing it. Derek stops in front of Marcus. Shadow blocks the sun. You need to move now. Marcus looks up. Officer, is there a problem? Derek's hand drops to his handcuffs. Yeah, you're the problem. 19 minutes until Derek learns what happens when you touch the wrong man. He still thinks he's in control. Derek doesn't ease into it. He goes for the throat. This is a family area. You're making people uncomfortable. Move now. Marcus keeps his voice calm, the way every black man learns to talk to cops. Officer, I'm just waiting for my wife. I'm not bothering anyone. I don't care who you're waiting for. Derek steps closer. Can't you read? White residents only. Right there on your bench. A young mother nearby watches with alarm. Officer, he's not doing anything. Derek whips around. Ma'am, this is police business. Step back, unless you want to be part of this. She backs away, phone already out. Crowds gather, joggers stop. Parents pull kids close. Everyone senses this is about to get worse. Derek turns back. Last warning. Get up, or I move you. Marcus stands slowly, hands visible. Officer, I'm happy to move. Derek grabs the newspaper and rips it in half, throws both pieces in Marcus's face. Pages scatter. The DOJ overhaul headline lands in the dirt. I'm not here for explanations. People like you think you can sit anywhere. Not here. Not today. 80 people watching now. This is the show. A little girl, maybe 5, starts crying. Mommy, why is he being so mean? Her mother covers her eyes. Too late. Marcus raises his hands higher. Officer, I'm not resisting. Derek shoves him, both hands hard. Marcus stumbles backward, catches himself on the bench. The crowd gasps. Everyone knows the difference between police work and abuse. Captain Harlan Burke arrives, strolling up like he's done this before. 50s, confident, protected. What's the situation, Vance? Derek doesn't hesitate. Subject refusing to comply. No ID. Suspicious behavior. Marcus tries reason. Captain, I was simply sitting on a public bench. I don't care. Harlan looks at Derek and nods. Cuff him. Sorted at the station. The crowd erupts. He didn't do anything. This is wrong. Record this. Phones everywhere. 40 at least. All pointed. All capturing. Derek grabs Marcus's arm, yanks it behind his back. Hands behind your back. Marcus is already complying. Handcuffs flash. Derek slaps them on tight. Click, click. Marcus's wrists redden. Then Derek does something the park won't forget. He puts his hand on Marcus's head and shoves him down, forcing him to his knees on the grass. Marcus's knees hit ground. Dirt stains his slacks. Derek plants his knee on Marcus's back, pressing down. Should have moved when I told you. 20 minutes away, Officer Jamal Hayes freezes. His son calls for the frisbee, but Jamal's staring at the man on the ground. He knows that face. It's important, but he can't place it. His son tugs harder. Jamal forces himself to turn away. Near the swings, Judge Elias Thorne records his daughter. Unaware, his camera catches everything at the bench. Perfect angle, clear lighting, every detail in 4K. A silver Mercedes slows. Councilman Victor Hale looks out, sees cops and a man in cuffs. He rolls down his window. Officers? Everything under control? Harlan straightens. Yes, sir, Councilman. Routine trespassing. Victor looks at Marcus on the ground. Something flickers. Recognition, maybe, but he pushes it down. Good work. Keep our park safe. Window up. Gone. Derek hauls Marcus to his feet, walks him toward the patrol car. The crowd parts, still recording. The little girl breaks free, runs forward. Mommy, is that man bad? Her mother kneels, tears streaming. No, baby, he's not bad. He's not bad at all. Derek shoves Marcus toward the car. Harlan follows. They reach it. Derek yanks the door open, puts his hand on Marcus's head, shoves down hard. Marcus's head hits the door frame. Thud. Watch your head, buddy. Derek smirks after. Door slams metal glass. Marcus sits in back, cuffed, perfectly calm, like he expected this. Harlan climbs in passenger. Derek behind wheel. Engine starts. In the crowd, a woman calls a lawyer. A man texts journalists. Officer Jamal Hayes, walking to his car with his son, stops dead. He just remembered 8 years ago. FBI Assistant Director Marcus Kane. The man who saved his career now in the back of Derek's car in handcuffs. Oh my God, Jamal whispers. His hand goes to his pocket. The body cam he carries off duty. He turns it on, aims at the patrol car, records everything. Inside the car, Derek glances in the rear-view mirror at Marcus. Comfortable back there? Not used to riding in police cars, are you? Marcus doesn't answer, just stares ahead, breathing steady. Harlan shifts in his seat. Any ID on him? Nothing, Derek says. No wallet, no phone, nothing. Suspicious as hell. What they don't know, Marcus's phone is in his vest pocket. He felt it, chose not to mention it. Waiting. Derek pulls onto the road. Dispatch, this is Vance, one in custody, heading to station. Trespassing, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest. The radio crackles. Copy that, Vance. Booking ready. What Derek doesn't hear. The slight hesitation in the dispatcher's voice. The confusion, because 3 minutes ago, she got a call from someone claiming to be FBI asking about a Director Kane. She dismissed it as a prank. Now she's not so sure. The patrol car drives away from the park, away from the witnesses, away from the cameras, but the evidence is already spreading, already uploaded, already viral. 16 minutes left. Derek Vance has no idea his career just ended in that park, has no idea that federal vehicles are already racing toward Brookside, has no idea that the man in his back seat is about to destroy everything he's ever worked for. He's still smiling when he pulls into the station parking lot. Still smiling when he opens the back door and yanks Marcus out. Still smiling when he walks him through the front entrance, past the booking desk, past officers who glance up and see nothing unusual. Just another arrest, just another day. Except it's not. Jamal Hayes is still standing in the park. Bodycam recording, phone in his other hand. He's calling everyone he knows in the department, warning them. But he's too late. Derek's already inside. The patrol car smells like old coffee and years of bad decisions. And Derek can't stop glancing in the rearview mirror at Marcus sitting there calm, as someone waiting for a bus. It irritates Derek more than resistance would. No ID, no story, no rights to this city. You people always push boundaries. Well, today somebody pushed back. Marcus doesn't react, just speaks quietly. Officer, when we get to the station, check my fingerprints carefully. Very carefully. Derek laughs because that's the funniest thing he's heard all week. Oh, we'll check them, run every database, and when they come back clean, you'll still get trespassing, disorderly conduct, resisting arrest. Your prints won't save you. Marcus leans back, and there's something in his voice now that should make Derek pause. When those results come back, Officer Vance, you're going to need a union rep and a very good lawyer. Not for me, for yourself. Harlan shifts uncomfortably, glances at Marcus in the mirror. Vance, just drive. We'll handle this by the book. The radio crackles. All units, this is dispatch. FBI liaison requesting immediate. Harlan reaches over and turns the volume to 0. Interference. We'll deal with it later. Derek nods without questioning because that's what junior officers do. They trust their captain. Big mistake. They pull into the station 10 minutes later. Derek gets out, opens the back door, yanks Marcus out by his arm. Come on, let's get you processed. The walk through the station is designed to humiliate. Officers look up, see a black man in cuffs, look away. Routine, normal, just another Wednesday. But Officer Nina Reyes watches Marcus's face as he passes, and everything about this feels wrong. She stands. Captain, what's the charge? Harlan doesn't slow down. Trespassing, resisting, disorderly. Standard booking done. She stays standing, watching as they bring Marcus to booking where Officer Soto waits with his fingerprint scanner. Let's ID this guy, Soto says with bored efficiency. Derek uncuffs one wrist but keeps hold of Marcus's arm. Soto presses Marcus's fingers onto the scanner. Thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, computer processes. Everyone waits. Then it beeps. Loud, urgent, screen flashes red. Bold text appears. Match found. Marcus Kane, FBI Director. Priority. Alpha. Notify Department of Justice immediately. Derek leans in. His face goes white. Captain, that says. Harlan moves like lightning, shoves Derek aside, slams the laptop shut with a bang that echoes through booking. Malfunction? System glitch. Database has been buggy all week. Derek stares at Harlan, trying to process. But sir, it specifically said FBI. Harlan's voice drops to that tone that means obey. I said it's a malfunction, Vance. False positive. We use backup protocol, manual processing, standard procedure when tech fails. Derek swallows, nods slowly. Yes, sir. But doubt is screaming in his head now. Soto is frozen, staring at the laptop. Captain, federal protocol requires immediate reporting of priority alpha. Harlan cuts him off with a look that could stop a charging bull. Officer Soto, you follow my orders in my station. Clear that alert. Manual processing now. Soto hesitates for 3 seconds. That will haunt him forever. Then he opens the laptop and starts clicking, clearing the alert from the screen. What none of them know, the alert auto saved to federal servers the instant it triggered. Every keystroke logged, every action time-stamped, every deletion documented. Clearing the local screen doesn't erase FBI records. It just adds suppression of federal notification to the list of crimes. Nina is 10F'd away. She didn't see the exact words, but she saw Harlan's panic, heard his tone, watched him slam that laptop to hide something. This feels bigger than department politics. This feels like an explosion waiting to happen. Derek walks Marcus toward holding cells. Harlan following close. They take his belongings. Derek pockets Marcus's phone instead of bagging it as evidence. Another violation Harlan ignores. They put Marcus in a cell. Gray walls, metal bench, bars that lock with a sound like finality. Marcus sits down calmly, closes his eyes, starts counting in his head. Outside, Nina pulls out her phone, makes notes. She doesn't know what she witnessed exactly, but she knows it was wrong. Knows she might be the only one willing to speak up when this explodes. And it will explode. Harlan thinks he just saved himself by hiding that alert. What he actually did was arm the weapon about to destroy his career. Federal servers never forget. Federal logs never lie. 12 minutes until the FBI walks through that door. Officer Jamal Hayes walks into the station 18 minutes after the arrest, still thinking about the man at the park who looked so familiar when he spots Derek Vance grinning at the coffee machine like he just won Officer of the Year. "Vance, heard you brought someone in from Willow Creek," Jamal says, grabbing a cup for cover. Derek's chest puffs out. "Yeah, troublemaker at the memorial bench. Captain and I handled it. Guy's in holding where he belongs. Jamal's blood goes cold. That's exactly where he was with his son. I'll check the booking log for night shift." He walks to holding, and when he looks through the cell window and sees the man sitting there with eyes closed and hands folded, every memory clicks into place at once. FBI Assistant Director Marcus Kane 8 years ago, the man who saved Jamal's career. The memory slams into him. 24-year-old Jamal handcuffed in an interrogation room, corrupt sergeant forcing him to sign a confession for evidence Jamal never touched. Career about to die before it started. Then the door opened, and this calm man in an FBI vest said 5 words. "I'm taking this case now." Kane spent 3 days investigating, found the real culprit, cleared Jamal completely. Before leaving, he said words Jamal's carried ever since. "Integrity isn't convenient, Officer Hayes. It's necessary. When you see something wrong, you speak up, even when it costs everything. Remember that." Jamal remembered. For 8 years. And now that man is in a cell because Derek and Harlan arrested the FBI director. "Oh my God," Jamal whispers, hand going to his pocket where his off-duty body cam's been recording since the park. He needs backup. Finds Nina Reyes at her desk, looking like she's been waiting for someone to confirm her suspicions. Reyes' evidence room now. When they're alone, Jamal doesn't waste time. That man they arrested? FBI Director Marcus Kane. My old boss. The man who saved my career 8 years ago. Nina's eyes go wide. Does Harlan know? Harlan saw the fingerprint match and slammed the laptop shut. Claimed malfunction. I need Derek's body cam footage, all of it. Nina's already at the computer pulling up Derek's body cam from the park. What they see makes them sick. Derek's aggression, Newspaper ripping. The shove. Marcus forced to his knees. Little girl crying, all in high definition. Derek's voice echoes. "You people always push boundaries," Nina says quietly. "Federal civil rights violation. Multiple counts." Jamal checks system logs. "Nina, look." Harlan manually dismissed the FBI alert at 5:35. Priority Alpha Automatic DOJ notification. Harlan shut it down. Ordered Soto to clear it. Obstruction of justice. Conspiracy. He knew who Marcus was. Jamal opens another folder. Password protected, but he knows the back door. Vance Burke, Complaints Archive. The folder opens. 23 complaint files. All dismissed, all weighed. All buried by Harlan. First file 6 months ago. Jamal Brooks blackmail. 34 cooperative. Derek orders trunk open. Jamal asks for probable cause. Derek gets aggressive. Camera shows Derek's hand going to his pocket. Then the trunk pulling out cocaine that wasn't there seconds before. Jamal screaming, "That's not mine!" Derek cuffs him, smiling. Notes say Jamal spent 8 months in jail before charges dropped. Lost job, lost custody of daughter. Nina covers her mouth. He planted it. Second file 4 months ago. Tia Morales outside elementary school waiting for kids. Derek says she's loitering. She explains she's picking up her children. He cuffs her in front of the school, her kids screaming, "Mommy!" Teachers intervening. Notes: children now have anxiety disorders. Therapy twice weekly. She lost custody battle. Third file. Carlos Mendoza, Latino male, 38. Detained for matching description. Video shows Carlos compliant, hands visible. Derek's baton comes down once, twice, 3 times. Carlos cuffed, defenseless. Beating continues. Medical report, ruptured kidney, 47,000 in bills. Permanent damage, Harlan's report, justified force, 23 cases, 23 destroyed lives, all buried. "This is systematic," Nina says, shaking. Harlan trained Derek, protected him, built a culture of abuse. Jamal checks something else. "Nina, look at the cameras. Security monitors show every camera with a small red light." "What am I seeing?" "Those aren't our indicators. Ours show green." Jamal pulls up access logs. Someone accessed our cameras remotely, federal level, activated 3:15 this afternoon, 2 hours before Marcus was arrested. Understanding hits them. Nina says it. This was a trap. Marcus knew FBI's been watching everything. Jamal checks timestamps. FBI's been inside our system for hours, seen everything. Harlan suppressing alerts. Derek's violations. Us, right now. What do we do? Jamal pulls out a USB drive, starts copying. Document everything, every case, every victim. When this explodes, Harlan will bury what he can. We need backups. He hands Nina a second drive. You take one, I take one. Insurance. Nina copies. If they find out, then we go down doing right. Jamal says, Marcus's voice in his head. Integrity isn't convenient. It's necessary. Files finish. Jamal checks dispatch. 6 missed calls from Federal Liaison Priority, all ignored by Harlan. Nina looks at monitors. Those red lights. They're not calling anymore. They're here watching, waiting. Jamal slips the USB next to his body cam. Harlan thinks he's covering up. He's adding charges. Footsteps outside. Both freeze. They pass. We can't stop this, Nina whispers. Jamal shakes his head. No, but we can be on the right side when it hits. They leave separately. Jamal walks past Marcus's cell. Marcus's eyes open, looking directly at him. Marcus gives the smallest nod. Jamal nods back, touches his pocket, walks away. 10 minutes until FBI arrives. Derek and Harlan still think they won. Washington, D.C. FBI headquarters, Deputy Director Lena Voss's phone lights up with an alert that makes her drop her coffee. The liquid spreads across her desk as she reads words that shouldn't be possible. Director Kane flagged in custody. Brookside PD alert suppressed by local authority. She's on her feet, instantly grabbing her office phone while pulling up Brookside PD's live camera feeds on her computer. If someone arrested the FBI director and tried to hide it, this isn't a mistake. This is a federal incident about to explode across every news channel in America. The camera feeds load. There's Marcus sitting calmly in a holding cell like he's waiting for a bus, instead of locked up by cops who have no idea what they triggered. Lena dials the Attorney General. He picks up on the second ring. "Sir, we have a situation. Director Kane is in custody at Brookside PD off-duty arrest. They suppressed federal alerts. We need to move." Silence. Then the AG's voice comes through, cold and precise. Mobilized tactical, full team, quiet approach. No sirens, no lights, no warning. I want them to see federal vehicles and realize it's over. How fast can you get there? Lena's already moving. 15 minutes. Then go. I'm authorizing extraction. If Kane is in danger, pull him out. If not, let it play out how he wants. I guarantee he's got a plan. 3 black SUVs leave FBI headquarters 4 minutes later. Engines quiet, lights dark. 2 U.S. Marshal vehicles join at Brookside border. Together they move like sharks through water, representing federal authority about to crush a small station that arrested the wrong man. Lena's in the lead vehicle. She makes one more call directly to Brookside PD. A cheerful receptionist answers. "Brookside Police Department. How may I? FBI Deputy Director Lena Voss. Connect me to Captain Harlan Burke. Federal emergency." The cheerfulness dies. "Ma'am, Captain Burke is in an interview and cannot." Lena cuts her off. "This is not a request. You have 30 seconds to connect me or federal agents will be at your desk charging you with obstruction. Transfer me now. Click. Hold. Click." Harlan's voice, irritated. "Captain Burke, what's this about?" Lena doesn't ease in. "Captain Burke, FBI Deputy Director Lena Voss. You have FBI Director Marcus Kane in custody. You arrested a federal official, suppressed priority alpha alerts. You have 10 minutes to release him, or I arrive with 40 agents and end your career. Understand?" She hears Harlan's breathing change. "Deputy Director, there's been a misunderstanding. We arrested a suspect for trespassing and the system. The system identified him as FBI Director at 5:35, and you suppressed the alert. We have the logs, Captain. We have everything. 9 minutes. Clock's ticking." Harlan's voice gets desperate. "If we release him without charges, it looks like we knew." "You did know. You saw the screen. You slammed the laptop. Soto witnessed it. Vance witnessed it. The server logged it. You knew exactly who he was. 8 minutes. Use them wisely." She hangs up. Harlan stares at the dead phone. Councilman Victor Hale walks in, face pale. He was listening at the door. "Harlan, was that FBI about the man in holding?" Harlan looks at Victor with eyes that have accepted defeat. "That man we arrested, he's the FBI director. Federal agents are 8 minutes away." Victor's legs give out. He drops into a chair. "You knew when?" "Fingerprint scanner priority alpha." "I thought I could." Harlan's voice breaks. "You thought you could hide it?" Victor finishes. "Bury a federal alert. Arrest the FBI director, and nobody would notice." 10 seconds of silence. "What do we do?" Victor asks. Harlan stares at nothing. "If we release him, we admit we knew. If we keep him and FBI comes, it's worse." Victor leans forward. "Can we make a deal? Explain it was a mistake in 7 minutes. They don't want deals. They want us in handcuffs." Outside, 3 SUVs are 6 minutes away. Lena watches live feeds on her tablet. Harlan and Victor panic while Marcus sits in his cell. Calm. 6 minutes until everything ends. Harlan and Victor don't know the countdown already hit 0 when they cuffed the wrong man. Harlan and Victor sprint to the holding cell like the building's on fire. And Derek's never seen his captain look this terrified, this desperate, this close to complete breakdown. "What's happening?" Derek asks. but Harlan's already yanking Marcus from the cell. No explanation, just pure panic that makes Derek's stomach drop, because captains don't panic unless something has gone catastrophically wrong. They drag Marcus into interrogation and throw him into the chair. Marcus sits calmly, hands cuffed in front now, a small mercy Harlan granted because he's desperately trying to de-escalate what's already beyond control. Harlan sits across from Marcus, trying to sound official. "Sir, there's been confusion about identity. If you cooperate, we can resolve this quickly." Marcus looks at Harlan with eyes that know exactly how this ends. "Cooperate? I've been cooperative for 65 minutes while you violated my rights, suppressed federal alerts, and committed felonies that'll destroy you." Derek's feeling sick now. "Captain, what's he?" Harlan cuts him off with a look. "Vance, quiet." Marcus's voice fills the room like thunder. "Officer Vance wants to know what I'm talking about. You ripped a newspaper from my hands, threw it in my face, shoved me against a bench, forced me to my knees in front of 80 witnesses, including a 5-year-old girl who cried, and asked her mother why you were being mean. That's deprivation of rights under color of law, civil rights violations, assault, all on camera, all career-ending." Derek goes white. Actually loses all color. Victor steps forward with his politician voice. "Gentlemen, let's take a breath. I'm sure we can reach an understanding." Marcus's eyes shift to Victor, and the councilman's charm dies instantly. Councilman Hale, City Oversight Meetings. "You asked 17 very specific questions about FBI resources over 8 months. I answered everyone. You smiled, thought you were being careful." Victor goes pale. "I don't know what." 89 million in fraudulent contracts, wire fraud, money laundering, racketeering. I wasn't just answering your questions, Councilman. I was investigating you. Every meeting, every smile, building your case. Silence, except for Victor's breathing, which sounds like drowning. Harlan's begging now. "Please, we can make this disappear. No charges. Just sign a release." We all walk away. Marcus laughs cold. "Make this disappear. This was documented by 47 cameras, 80 witnesses, and live-streamed to FBI headquarters. You can't erase federal crimes because you're scared." Derek finds his voice. "You're actually FBI." Marcus stands and even cuffed. He owns that room. In 8 minutes, you'll wish you'd ask my name. In 9, you'll wish you'd never touch me. In 10, you'll hear sirens. In 11, you'll wear these handcuffs, and there's nothing you can do to stop it." Derek's knees buckle. He grabs the wall. Harlan tries again. "We didn't know." Marcus's voice cuts like a blade. "You did know." At 5:35, your screen said, "FBI Director." You slammed the laptop. Soto saw it. Vance saw it. The server logged it. You knew exactly who I was and arrested me anyway. That's not ignorance. That's conspiracy. Victor fumbles for his phone. No signal. Screen says, "No service." His hands shake. Marcus watches Victor struggle, looking for your judges, your connections. None of them can help. You tried to bury justice. Justice doesn't bury it, explodes. That's when they hear it. Sirens distant but closing fast, multiple vehicles. Harlan runs to the window. What he sees makes him grab the frame to stay standing. 3 black SUVs, 2 marshal vehicles, all pulling into the lot. Derek whispers, "Captain, what do we?" The door explodes open. Deputy Director Lena Voss walks in with 6 FBI agents, all in tactical vests, all armed. Lena's voice is winter cold. "Nobody move." Harlan and Victor sprint to the holding cell like the building's on fire. And Derek's never seen his captain this terrified. This desperate running like death itself is chasing them down the hallway. They yank Marcus from the cell and drag him into interrogation, throwing him into the metal chair so hard it scrapes against concrete. Marcus sits calmly, hands cuffed in front now. Harlan's desperate attempt at de-escalation that's already too late to matter. Harlan tries to sound official, tries to project authority that evaporated 8 minutes ago. Sir, there's been confusion about your identity. Cooperate with us, and we can resolve this quickly. Everyone walks away satisfied. Marcus looks at Harlan like a judge watching a guilty man beg for mercy. Cooperate. I've been cooperative for 65 minutes while you violated my rights, suppressed federal alerts, and committed felonies that'll send you to prison for decades. Derek's stomach drops. Captain, what's he talking about? What federal? Harlan cuts him off hard. Vance, shut up. Let me handle this. But Marcus is done letting Harlan handle anything, and his voice fills the room like a closing trap. Officer Vance wants to know what I'm talking about. You ripped a newspaper from my hands and threw it in my face. You shoved me against a bench hard enough to bruise. You forced me to my knees in front of 80 witnesses, including a 5-year-old girl who cried and asked her mother why you were being mean. That's deprivation of rights under color of law. Federal civil rights violations, all on 47 cameras, including your own body cam. Your career doesn't just end, officer. It ends with you in handcuffs. Derek goes white, actually staggers backward, has to grab the wall because his legs won't hold him anymore. Victor Hale steps in with his politician voice, smooth and practiced. Gentlemen, let's take a breath. I'm certain we can reach an understanding that benefits everyone involved in this unfortunate situation. Marcus's gaze shifts to Victor, like a sniper acquiring a target. Councilman Hale, city budget hearings, 17 meetings over 8 months. You sat front row asking very specific questions about FBI resources. I answered everyone. You smiled, me, thought you were being careful. Victor's charm dies on his face. I attend dozens of meetings. I can't remember every, but I remember all 17 councilmen, because while I answered your questions, I was investigating your $89 million in fraudulent contracts, wire fraud, money laundering, racketeering. Every smile you gave me, I was documenting your desperation to know how much we knew. Now I can tell you exactly how much. Everything. The room goes silent except for Victor's breathing, which sounds like drowning. Harlan's begging now, hands clasped like prayer. Please, whoever you are, we can make this disappear. No charges against you, clean record. Just sign a release. Everyone walks away. Marcus laughs cold as death. Make this disappear. This was documented by 47 cameras, witnessed by 80 people, and live-streamed to FBI headquarters. Deputy Director Lena Voss has been watching every move you made for the last hour. You can't erase federal crimes because you're finally scared. Derek's voice comes out broken. You're actually FBI. Marcus stands and even cuffed. He owns that room completely. In 8 minutes, Officer Vance, you'll wish you'd asked my name before touching me. In 9, you'll wish you'd chosen a different career. In 10, you'll hear sirens. In 11, you'll be wearing these handcuffs, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Derek's knees buckle. He slides down the wall. Harlan tries one last desperate play. We didn't know if we'd known your position. Marcus's voice cuts like a guillotine. You did know. At 5:35, your screen said FBI Director. You slammed the laptop shut. Soto witnessed it. Vance witnessed it. The server logged it. You knew exactly who I was and arrested me anyway. That's not ignorance, Captain. That's federal conspiracy. Victor fumbles for his phone with shaking hands. No signal. The screen mocks him. No service. Marcus watches Victor's panic with something almost like pity. Looking for your judges, councilman. Your political connections. Your favors. None of them can help you now. You tried to bury justice. But justice doesn't bury, it explodes. That's when they all hear it. Sirens. Multiple vehicles close now, getting closer. Harlan runs to the small window, looks out, and what he sees makes his legs give out completely. He has to grab the window frame to stay standing. 3 black FBI SUVs, 2 U.S. Marshal vehicles, all pulling into the parking lot with military precision. Derek's voice is barely a whisper. "Captain, what do we do?" Harlan can't answer, can't move, can only stare at the end of everything he's ever worked for. The interrogation room door explodes open with a bang that sounds like judgment itself. Deputy Director Lena Voss walks in with 6 FBI agents behind her, all in tactical vests, all armed, all looking at Derek and Harlan and Victor like they're already convicted. Lena's voice is absolute zero. Nobody move. Lena Voss walks straight to Marcus without wasting a second on pleasantries or explanations, and the agent beside her immediately steps forward with keys that unlock the handcuffs with a click that sounds like freedom arriving exactly on schedule. "Director Kane, are you injured?" Lena asks, her voice professional, but edged with genuine concern for a superior officer who just endured an hour in custody. Marcus holds up his wrists where the metal left angry red marks that are already darkening into bruises. "Minor contusions, nothing that won't heal. I'll be fine, Deputy Director." Harlan and Derek and Victor stand frozen against the wall like criminals waiting for sentencing, while federal agents watch their every microscopic movement. And Harlan's face suddenly flashes with something that might be hope. Might be the desperate delusion of a drowning man who thinks he sees a rescue boat. "Deputy Director Voss, if we could just take a moment to explain the situation properly. There was clearly a significant misunderstanding about this individual's identity and position." Lena cuts him off without even looking in his direction. "Save every word for your attorney, Captain Burke. You're going to need them." She turns back to Marcus. "Director, your wife is waiting outside. She's been extremely worried. Take whatever time you need and we'll handle the processing from here." Marcus nods once. "All business now instead of prisoner. My personal belongings were confiscated during the booking process. I'll need my phone and wallet returned immediately." Derek pulls Marcus's phone from his pocket with hands that won't stop trembling. And everyone in that room knows that keeping it on his person instead of logging it into evidence is just one more violation on a list that's already long enough to destroy him. "Here, sir. I was going to properly document it in the system." "I just hadn't gotten around to keep your excuses," Marcus says, taking his belongings and walking out of that interrogation room without another glance at the 3 men who thought they could arrest the FBI director and escape consequences. Every officer in the station stops and watches him pass because word has spread like wildfire. They arrested the director, actual FBI director, and now federal agents are everywhere and careers are ending in real time. Jamal Hayes and Nina Reyes stand near reception, and when Marcus passes, Jamal gives the smallest nod that says, "I did what you taught me. I chose integrity." Marcus returns it and keeps walking towards sunlight and freedom. Outside, Elena Kane runs from their car and meets him in an embrace that's tight enough to hurt and necessary enough not to care. "Are you okay?" she asks against his shoulder. "I'm fine. Everything went exactly as planned." Elena pulls back, worry shifting to exasperation. "This isn't over, is it?" Marcus glances at the station where federal agents move through windows like an occupying force. No, not even close. In the car, Marcus checks his phone and finds Lena's text. Package delivered. Green light. He types back, "Green light. Execute phase 4. Inside the station, Harlan stares at his computer screen where a notification just appeared. FBI remote access active. 6 hours, 23 minutes. 6 hours. They were watching everything. Derek's at the window, cigarette shaking in his hand. Victor whispers, "Maybe it's over." Derek wants to believe it, but his hands won't stop shaking. They didn't dodge anything. They walked deeper into the trap. 45 minutes later, Marcus Kane walks back into Brookside PD wearing a Navy suit with his FBI badge clipped to his belt, and officers step backward, creating a path like they're witnessing judgment walking through their station. Lena Voss meets him at the entrance. Director conference room. Attorney General Grant's here. He wants to handle this personally. The doors open to Grant at a long table with Derek, Harlan, and Victor on one side, looking condemned. Federal agents lining walls. Grant's voice carries absolute authority. I'm Attorney General Elias Grant. We're not here to negotiate. We're here to show you what you've done and what happens next. Marcus sits across from the three men. Lena connects her laptop to the wall screen. Willow Creek Park appears. Multiple angles. Timestamp 5:15 p.m. Evidence Package 1. Lena announces 12 security cameras, 43 civilian phones, 1 retired judge's recording, all capturing the same federal crime. Video plays. Derek approaching Marcus with aggression. Newspaper ripped, thrown in his face, 80 witnesses gasping, 5-year-old crying, asking why the policeman is mean. Audio clear. You people think you own everything. AI facial recognition identified Director Kane at 5:08. Lena continues showing red alert. Marcus Kane, FBI Director, Priority Alpha, notified DOJ immediately, 11 minutes before Officer Vance made contact. Screen shifts to booking footage. Computer flashing FBI Director. Harlan's face registering recognition. Hand slamming laptop shut hard enough to make Soto flinch. 5:35 p.m. Lena states, Captain Burke manually suppressed Priority Alpha Federal Alert. Ordered Soto to clear it. Told Vance it was malfunction. That's obstruction of justice, conspiracy, federal felonies with mandatory minimums. Derek trembles violently. I didn't know what it said. Captain told me system glitch. I was following superior officer's orders. Marcus's voice cuts like a blade. You saw that screen, Vance. Read those words, FBI Director. You had a choice. Question the false explanation or blindly follow an order you knew was wrong. You chose corruption over courage. That choice costs 11 years in federal prison. Lena brings up spreadsheet. Victor makes a sound like physical pain. Evidence Package 2, 18 months investigation. 273 documented incidents. 89 complaints systematically buried by Captain Burke. Racial profiling 340% above national average. A pattern so clear it can only be intentional organized abuse of power. Grant's voice drops more personal, but numbers are abstract. Statistics don't bleed. Let's discuss actual human cost of what you three built together. Door opens. 4 people enter. Jamal Brooks, Tia Morales, Carlos Mendoza, Derek Lawson. Derek recognizes Jamal instantly. Goes completely white. 6 months ago. Planted cocaine. Jamal screaming innocence. Officer Vance, Marcus says with precision. I believe you remember Jamal Brooks. Jamal steps forward, voice shaking with 8 months of compressed rage. You planted drugs in my vehicle. Vance looked in my eyes while I screamed. Those drugs weren't mine. While I begged you to check traffic cameras. While I told you about my 9-year-old daughter who needed her father. You smiled, actually smiled while destroying my entire life to meet your arrest quota. 8 months in jail, lost my job as senior accountant, lost custody of my daughter in the divorce that followed, all for a statistic on your performance review. Derek can't look at him, stares at the table while his crimes are enumerated. Tia speaks next, tears streaming, but voice steady. You handcuff me in front of my children, at their elementary school, in front of teachers, classmates, everyone in their world. My daughter was 6 when she watched you arrest her mother for nothing except existing while black near a school. She's 8 now. Nightmares 3 times weekly. Therapy twice weekly. Anxiety disorders that will probably mark her entire life. You traumatized a 6-year-old child for another arrest on your record. Carlos lifts his shirt, revealing surgical scar across his abdomen. Ruptured kidney from your baton, Vance, while I was handcuffed completely defenseless. $47,000 in medical bills that bankrupted my family. Permanent organ damage. Can't work construction anymore. Can't provide for my children like before. Captain Burke's report said, justified force, though your body cam clearly shows. I never resisted, never fought back, never gave any reason except being Latino in your jurisdiction. Derek Lawson, Purple Heart visible on his jacket, speaks last. I took enemy fire for this country. 3 combat tours, came home with medal for valor and permanent limp. You called me trash and thug, threw me in a cell 36 hours with 0 charges, 0 explanation, 0 respect for my service or sacrifice or basic human dignity. Treated a decorated veteran like garbage because Captain Burke created a culture where that cruelty wasn't just permitted. It was encouraged and rewarded. Grant lets their testimonies hang heavy. These 4 represent 23 victims we've identified so far. 23 lives damaged or destroyed, families shattered, futures stolen, children traumatized, all systematically buried by Burke, all enabled by Hale's bribes, all executed by Vance's willingness to follow illegal orders without hesitation. Lena displays final evidence. Email from Harlan to Derek, 6 months old. Words so incriminating, Harlan closes his eyes. Handle the black ones rough. Arrest quotas matter more than complaints. Target high crime demographics and make visible examples. I'll handle any blowback. Marcus's voice emotionless. That's not coded language. That's direct, explicit written order to commit civil rights violations with unambiguous promise of protection. That email alone convicts you both, Captain. That's your career, and freedom ending in 112 words. Grant rises to full height. Officer Derek Vance, you're under arrest for deprivation of rights under color of law, federal civil rights violations, evidence tampering, false imprisonment, aggravated assault. Captain Harlan Burke, obstruction of justice, conspiracy to violate civil rights, systematic abuse of power, corruption, racketeering. Councilman Victor Hale, bribery, money laundering, wire fraud, conspiracy to obstruct justice. United States Marshals execute arrests immediately. Marshals move with practiced efficiency. Handcuffs click onto wrists. Same sound Marcus heard 76 minutes ago, except this time it represents justice working correctly. Consequences arriving for those who thought themselves untouchable. Derek sobs as metal bites skin. Please, I'm sorry. Didn't mean for this. Just following Captain Burke's orders. Jamal's voice cuts through without mercy. Sorry doesn't give back 8 months, doesn't repair my daughter's trust, doesn't undo permanent damage you inflicted because you were too weak to question obviously illegal orders. Harlan's silent as they cuff him, staring at nothing, accepting total defeat. Victor tries desperately. I have immunity. I'm elected official. Grant's voice is ice. Elected officials aren't above federal law, Councilman. You'll learn that over the next 23 years in federal prison. They're escorted out in handcuffs while every officer watches in stunned silence, witnessing the end of one era and uncertain beginning of whatever comes next. Outside, the 80 park witnesses have gathered with news cameras and half of Brookside. When they see Marcus standing free with badge visible, while Derek, Harlan, Victor are led out in federal chains. Applause begins, tentative then building to sustained thunder. Lily, the 5-year-old from the park, is on her mother's shoulders. She sees Marcus and her voice rings clear. Mommy, look, the nice man from the bench. He's okay. The mean policeman didn't win. Her mother has tears streaming. Yes, baby. You're right. The nice man is safe. And those bad policemen are going away for a very long time because what they did was wrong. Jamal, Tia, Carlos, Derek stand with Marcus as cameras capture the moment. A reporter pushes forward. Director Kane, what message does this send to police departments about accountability? Marcus's voice carries across the crowd with moral clarity. Power without accountability is tyranny. Today, accountability won. Justice arrived. The system worked. But it shouldn't require 23 destroyed lives and an FBI director in handcuffs for federal justice to pay attention. That's what needs to change in every department, every city, every state. Make accountability automatic, not exceptional. Film everything. Speak up when you witness misconduct. Demand better from people. We give badges and guns and authority because that badge doesn't make someone right. Only their actions do. Only their integrity matters. Only their willingness to serve people rather than abuse power counts for anything. The crowd responds with sustained, meaningful applause, not just for Marcus, but for Jamal, Tia, Carlos, Derek, for every victim finally heard, believed, vindicated. Federal transport doors close on Derek, Harlan, Victor with metallic finality. Justice properly served. Accountability arrived. Consequences delivered. Marcus doesn't smile because this isn't about victory or revenge. This is about a broken system being forced to fix itself, one painful but necessary arrest at a time. Cameras keep rolling. Witnesses keep watching. Evidence keeps standing. Justice served in full public view of everyone who needed to see it. That matters most. After the arrests, Brookside Police Department sits in stunned silence, waiting to see if walls will hold or collapse in aftershocks. Marcus Kane stands in the lobby with Lena Voss, and every officer watches to see what happens next because their command structure just got arrested and nobody knows who's in charge. Marcus's voice cuts through uncertainty. This department has a choice: continue the culture Captain Burke built. Lies, buried complaints, abuse, or rebuild with integrity. Federal oversight is coming either way. The question is whether you embrace accountability or fight it. A senior officer steps forward, face showing shame. Director Kane, some of us tried reporting Vance and Burke, but complaints disappeared. We were told to stop causing problems. Marcus nods. I know. We found 17 buried complaints from officers here about Vance's force and Burke protecting him. 17 times people tried doing right and the system crushed them. That ends today. Lena steps forward with federal authority. Oversight begins immediately. 24 months minimum. New training, new accountability, new leadership. This department rebuilds from ground up. Marcus finds Officer Jamal Hayes near the back. Officer Hayes steps forward. Jamal walks through fellow officers, heart pounding. 8 years on force. 32 years old. Never commanded more than patrol shift. Officer Hayes, 8 years ago, I pulled you from interrogation, where a corrupt sergeant tried destroying your career. I saw integrity that couldn't be broken. Today, you proved I was right. You recognized me in that cell, and instead of staying silent, you gathered evidence, found allies, documented crimes. You chose truth over loyalty to corruption. That's leadership. Marcus pulls a badge from his jacket. Not patrol officers, something with more weight. Effective immediately, you're acting captain of Brookside PD. Federal oversight evaluates performance over 6 months. If you demonstrate leadership, this department needs that acting disappears, and you become first black captain in 50-year history. The station erupts in applause. Not universal, some faces show resistance, but enough genuine respect that Jamal knows he won't lead alone. Jamal takes the badge, hands shaking. Sir, I won't let you down. I know, Marcus says. 8 years ago, I told you integrity isn't convenient, but necessary. You proved you listened. Now teach that to everyone here. Make it culture, not exception. Nina Reyes steps forward. Officer Reyes, you're promoted to Detective Internal Affairs immediately. Your job is making sure this never happens again. Find buried complaints, investigate patterns, hold people accountable before federal agents must. The air feels lighter, like a weight lifted nobody realized they carried. But real justice isn't just punishing guilty. It's restoring innocent. That happens in conference room where Jamal Brooks, Tia Morales, Carlos Mendoza, and Derek Lawson sit with federal attorneys who hand them documents representing official acknowledgement the government failed them. Certificates of exoneration, the attorney explains, signed by Attorney General. Federal level, no state can dispute. Records completely expunged. Arrests never happen legally. You're officially innocent. Jamal reads his certificate, tears blurring words. My daughter can see her daddy wasn't criminal. Government admits they were wrong. Yes, Marcus says gently. Your daughter knows with certainty her father is good, wronged by people who abused power. Truth is official, permanent. Tia holds her certificate against chest. My children in therapy for months. Can I show them this? Prove Mommy did nothing wrong. You can and should, Marcus confirms. Beyond exoneration, DOJ provides compensation. $4.7 million divided among you four. Covers medical expenses, lost wages, therapy, acknowledges suffering. Carlos reads compensation statement 3 times. Covers all medical bills. My daughter's college fund I drained for kidney surgery. All of it, Lena confirms, plus pain, suffering, lost earning capacity, permanent damage. Federal government takes responsibility when systems fail. Derek Lawson, Purple Heart visible, speaks last. I served 3 tours. This acknowledgement matters more than money. Says I was right, believing in principles I fought for even when system betrayed them. You were right, Marcus tells him. You served with honor. Deserved honor returning. What happened was system failure, not reflection of your worth or service. Outside, reporters gather for press conference broadcasting this message to every community where people were failed by those sworn to protect. When Marcus steps to microphone with 4 victims beside him, he knows this moment is bigger than one corrupt department. This is about whether people can believe accountability exists. Today, justice was served. Marcus begins. 3 men abusing power in federal custody facing decades. 23 victims exonerated and compensated. A department rebuilding with integrity. But real question isn't what happened today, it's what happens tomorrow. Will we make accountability automatic, not exceptional? Will we empower good officers like Captain Hayes and Detective Reyes who chose courage over corruption? Will we believe victims when they come forward instead of waiting for undeniable evidence? The crowd listens silently. The bench where this started still sits in Willow Creek Park, with words carved from 1948, white residents only. We could remove it, bury history, or leave it as reminder not of who we were, but how far we must go. Because only thing more dangerous than remembering ugly history is forgetting it and allowing repetition under different names with same fundamental power abuse. He pauses. Make accountability automatic. Film everything. Speak up. Always demand better constantly, because badges don't grant righteousness. Actions do. Integrity does. Choosing to serve people instead of abusing power does. When authority forgets that truth, it's everyone's responsibility reminding them loudly and publicly and without apology that in America, no one is above law. No one ever. Applause follows for the idea justice is possible. Accountability matters. 3 men going to federal prison. 23 victims being restored. 1 department rebuilding. Somewhere in America, someone watching gathers courage to film next injustice. Document next abuse. Speak up when speaking up is hardest and most necessary. That's real victory. Not arrests, not compensation, but courage spreading from this moment like ripples from stone thrown into still water. Reaching farther than anyone sees, but changing everything touched. Justice served in full view. That matters most. 4 years later, Brookside Police Department looks different because it is different. Glass walls, modern training, and a command staff that understands the difference between power and service. Captain Jamal Hayes stands with 12 new recruits at Willow Creek Community Park. Before sending them to the streets with badges and guns, he brings them here. The bench, same stone, same carved words from 1948, but now a bronze plaque beside it, in memory of 23 victims, in honor of truth. Justice delayed is justice denied. FBI Director Marcus Kane. 4 years ago, Jamal begins. A good man sat on this bench, reading newspaper, waiting for family. 3 officers attacked him, humiliated him, forced him to his knees in front of 80 witnesses. Children cried, asking why the policeman was mean. A recruit asks, "What happened to those officers?" Derek Vance, 11 years federal prison. Harlan Burke, 18. Councilman Victor Hale, 23. All still serving. Another recruit nods. So justice worked. Bad guys punished. Jamal's expression shifts. That's not the lesson. 12 confused faces. The lesson is this bench is still here. And anyone can sit on it now. Anyone. Because one man refused to move when told he didn't belong. Because 80 people refused to look away. Because 2 officers chose integrity over corruption. That changed everything. Not arrests, not trials, courage. Movement catches his eye. A black man in his 50s sits on the bench with newspaper. Jamal Brooks, who spent 8 months in jail for drugs Derek planted, now free, vindicated, sitting where he belongs. Jamal looks up, sees Jamal Hayes, smiles. Hayes returns it. Silent acknowledgement between survivors. Remember this bench, Hayes tells recruits. Your badge doesn't make you right. Your actions do. Your integrity does. Your willingness to serve people instead of wielding power. If you forget, remember 3 officers who forgot. Remember where they are now. Choose differently. Brooks reads peacefully. Children play, families picnic. The park belongs to everyone now. Kane's voice echoes. Power fears cameras, courage, and truth. The bench is still there. Justice is still coming. Be on the right side. If this story of justice and accountability moved you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear that courage still matters, that speaking up still makes a difference, and that no one, absolutely no one, is above the law. Drop a comment below. Have you ever witnessed injustice and had to choose between speaking up or staying silent? What did you choose? Your story might inspire someone else to find their courage. And subscribe, because we bring you real stories about real people who refused to back down when power tried to silence truth. More stories of justice, accountability, and ordinary people doing extraordinary things are coming. Remember, the bench is everywhere. Sit where you belong. Stand up for what's right, and never stop filming the truth. See you in the next story.